Sports presents Benning Bites with Damon Benning. Benning Bites with Damon Benning.
Another episode of Benning's Bites. Little morsels, little nibbles. What's on my mind? This one was easy. Just going back through kind of Coach Joseph's presser yesterday and the little article piece from Tom Chattel of the Omaha World Herald, and I felt like there's a couple different things going on. I think number one, a lot of folks reading that online accounts said they kind of got the impression that Mickey was conceding the head coaching opportunity at the University of Nebraska just by the way that he was talking. And maybe they were using context clues or whatever, because that part is neither here nor there. And then kind of in conjunction with it's, well, you know, is Casey Thompson going to play? Is Casey Thompson not going to play? The case for, the case against, kind of like Mickey Joseph in terms of a head coaching candidacy. And I find it interesting because you're going to ask me, you're going to say, DB, how are these two things combined or how are they uniquely connected? And I think they absolutely are. As Coach Joseph was so instrumental in getting Casey Thompson to Nebraska because they have similar mindsets and similar personalities. And I think that that's why they connect the way that they do in terms of their communication styles, because they have two things in common. Number one, they're authentic, meaning they don't have to remember what they said or who they said it to, because chances are their consistency is one and the same. And so when you're authentic and you have to be held accountable or you have a goal or there's something that you want to accomplish, it's kind of the essence of their personality. So what you hear them say is exactly what they mean. So when Mickey talks about Casey in terms of his preparation and can he play and is it day-to-day, I think it's truly like that because he knows that Casey Thompson does want to play given the opportunity. And some people may say, well, why would Casey Thompson want to play? Casey Thompson wants to compete at the end of the day. What's he playing for? There's only 2 games left. Listen, that's not the way that athletes think. It's not the way that athletes can afford to think. And as competitive as they are, they want every opportunity to go to battle with guys that they feel are laying it on the line and sacrificing what they do too. So you don't have to worry about whether Casey Thompson wants to play or not. He does, and if he's able to go, he will. In the same vein that Coach Joseph does not get caught up in who's up for the job, who's not up for the job, when have they talked to me, when do they not talk to me. He understands full well he is competitive. I've said this before. He's never been the favorite. He's always been the underdog. And so he handles one day at a time, one task at a time, and he doesn't get distracted with the minutia or some of the other things that are outside of his control. He does a fantastic job of staying in the moment, controlling what he can control. So some of those answers that you hear are him staying in the moment. He does not allow himself to get preoccupied thinking about things that haven't yet happened. He tries to prepare as best he can for being in the moment. And I think a lot of that is what you hear, the same as it's a lot of what you see from his quarterback, which makes that kind of that symbiotic connection that they have in terms of talking to one another. So while I don't know who's going to get the job versus who isn't, just like I don't know if Casey Thompson is playing or he isn't, I'll tell you that both guys will give it what they have to make sure that they're the best that they can be on Saturday, because that's what they can control. And I think that's the thing that connects the two, that makes them who they are. Whatever you want me to talk about, you got some ideas, let me know at Damon Benning. And make sure you keep grabbing these. Subscribe. Use the promo code DB. For Benning's Bites. What do you want me to talk about? What would you stop and ask me if you could just chop it up for just a little bit? However you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever, you do that. Make sure you get at me. I'll give you more nibbles, more morsels, more bites, if you will. I'm ODB. It's Benning's Bites.